We gotta get real. We gotta start talking. So
Um,
what do you like think why it's bad?
alright, well, the main reason that I think Wizard is a bad game, I don't even say nowadays, I just say kinda in general, is like variety. Like that's my main problem with it. There should be more to do with the game rather than blading and AoEing, and it's unfortunate to see that like late game just revolves around like if you have like three people you can just one shot everything in the game. I mean, literally that. If you, I mean, like not even late game. If you have three people and you have played the game before as well, then start to finish, you literally one turn everything in the game by I mean, blading, fainting, and then AoEing. Like you just that just does it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
Like I feel like that's a problem. That's cool, but the fact that it's the only thing that you can like you really can do in this game to like because efficiency matters. You can say you want to play for fun as much as you want, and you can, but like efficiency is very important.
Yeah, I guess very
And
monotonous doing
they're
the
just
same thing over and over again.
me.
In general, there's a lot of less of group bosses now that require like single hits or setup where the mobs are still alive. Because it's always kill the mobs and then go for the boss. It's never certain bosses that require mobs to be alive with like a mechanic to prevent it from healing or blading or whatnot. Since they go into heavy and cheats nowadays, they just never do that with the mobs that I saw. So it's always
I
the same
see.
fight with just a different boss skin.
Yeah, I mean the cheats they like.
So what do you like about Wizard 101?
Like the things I like about Wizard101 is the fact that I can have cool stitches.
What did you used to play it for besides childhood enjoyment?
Well, okay, if there was ever a game that had the same premise as Wizard but was not Wizard, I'd probably play it. You know what I mean?
I do not.
Okay, like not like anything, because like like I forgot what it's called. The Hogwarts game does not seem too interesting to me. But like imagine a modern Wizard. Imagine how good that would be.
Like an
I think
Elden
the
Ring
game's
like.
dated. Yeah, I think I'm just saying the game's dated as fuck. I think that's what I'm just trying to
You
say.
can be a wizard in Elden Ring with all the spells. Make your own
I
wizard.
killed myself.
Become a fire
Yeah.
wizard. What do you want to see in Wizard 101?
What I'd like to see in Wizard 101. Well, actually, did you see that the next world they're making is based off of Darkmoor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It looks really, or it is Darkmoor or
I hope they
something.
keep
It looks
Malster
really cool.
dead since his arc is already over. It's a perfect ending.
Yeah, true. Mouse was done actually well. Like a little clap for the devs.
Literally
Very cool.
their best antagonist in the game. He
I
like
hope they expand.
what
Hmm?
made it so
Yeah,
good
sorry.
is he never had a redemption arc. He was just like a good villain.
Yeah.
And
No,
you
he
and
died
you
like he was a Hitler.
and you understood his motives. It was all for his wife. No matter how bad it was always for her.
A Hitler that had like a loving wife.
What I want to see is spellment grinding be much easier because it this locks out PvP for free-to-play players since you have to grind absurd amount of hours instead of just buying it. And also, the gear get changed more. Where it used to be, you had crit gear, you had damage gear, you had pierce gear, and you had to choose, and people all had different sets. Now it's all the gear does the same thing. And it's just a tiny stat boost for each level progression. So there's no variety, and it's all the same thing with just different looks, or some are slightly better because from packs, or some are really annoying to get, so they make you buy it. Don't make you, but you're incentivized to buy it to save a lot of time.
That is the number one thing. Oh my lord, it's actually like there's no excuse. The game's actually just like so tell me the reason why Kingzao that we have like made grindable gear abhorrent. Like I don't know the actual like entire state of it, which makes my like opinion sorta unreliable, but I don't know if it's worse or better. I'm pretty sure the dungeon is obnoxious, like the main one, but also like they did make it like easier to get stuff, but that easier doesn't really matter. There's also like 100 different gear packs that you just can pay money for, and they're like slightly worse, and some of them are better. Like so, it's like mainly they're slightly worse, but like some of them are just better.
Yeah, I would
They also
also
some of
like
them
to
have rare
see
cards for PvP.
the gear
Seems
have
like a,
more interesting cards instead of just blades, like polymorphs that actually do something, or maycasts that are interwoven into the school itself, like a blade.
I feel like they're concerned with they are adding like the stuff where they're like making big pierce blades, like 30% pierce blades and stuff like that, and better blades and stuff. I don't know entirely how that's gonna work, but I just wish I know they're concerned with like affecting the game and stuff since they literally made a no PvP thing like that you can put on a card. I really wish if they just started like making spells. Like preferably when I say making spells, I mean like think about all of the moon and sun and star school things in Shadow School things that there is actually zero canonical reason why we can't train it.
if you made Wizard 101, let's say you were like Kid to make, let's say you are now the owner of the game.
I'm just immediately making a lot more spells trainable. Like I feel like we shouldn't as level 170 wizards. I feel like there should be a lot more teachers. A lot more of the stuff like the witch in the house, you know what I mean?
The Witch in the
And like
House.
Colossus Boulevard
Oh yeah.
and stuff like that. There should be a lot more of stuff like that in the worlds. There should be a lot more of stuff like side quests that like have you do like an optional dungeon and then you finish that dungeon and then she's like I'll help you. You helped me piece together the like I don't know, I'm not even talking about the video at this point, but like she's like you know what I mean. Like she you do something for her and then like you do her quest and then like she'll become a card shop or something like that. It just frustrates me. Like you said, there's enough cards in the game. I personally believe there's not even close to it because just like it's just AOE's, man. It's like the other cards don't feel real.
You don't like all the AoEs that all do the same thing with like very different, like significantly insignificant damage difference.
I mean, PvP is like PvP and it's
Yeah,
its own thing.
well,
But even then, they
speaking of
didn't even
PvP,
change like
that's what the game centers around now. Everything is built for PvP, and it's not an
everything
MMO.
is
It's
built for
just a PvP
PvP
game, which
because it's the people who spend the most money on their game, right? That's their demographic.
yeah, PvPers.
Fucked up. That's a ruined game right there if you think about it.
Yeah, any MMO that focuses around PvP loses itself and becomes a worse version of what it originally was. If you had to remove one school, what would it be and why?
I'd remove the ice school. I don't have to deal with Tower Shield ever again.
Fair
Then I'd
enough.
remove balance next, and the game would be perfect.
Well, balance is like the main school in the game. That's like the main character's school, bro. Personally, I think the school that the game can do without the most is myth. Because elements are the main schools, and you have balance, which is the main character's school because it's everything. The death and life makes sense because it's death and life. The myth is just mythology, which honestly is whatever.
Myth only doesn't serve a purpose because the game didn't give it a fucking purpose.
Well,
You're
still,
gonna get me really passionate and angry because I think about it every time, and Myth would be like probably my favorite school, but they just genuinely because I like love like creature collectors and summoning and like you know what I mean in games like necromancy.
hold on. The game the thing is that the game added monsterology, which you can now get summon monsters by
I
collecting their essence,
I
and
know so that's what
like they ruined the whole point of Myth, and it doesn't have any class identity now.
no, it sucks. Like yeah, they did do that. Your bot's not moving out of the way. I'm gonna kill him. I mean, if I was the person who made like wizard or like could control what to add, it would definitely be like I think the very first thing I would do is I would make like elemental traps or something. Or I mean not elemental like start like astral traps and stuff like trainable. Like I don't know, or make like an astral aura like thing or like make more universal stuff. I don't know. Need to make more ways to like boost that kind of damage type that is unique. I want it to feel like a whole unique thing. I do not want it to be blading and then hitting with a different type of thing. It would be really cool if like I don't know, we just see more kinds of traps or like the negative auras on the enemies and stuff like that. I'm just repeating myself now, but stuff like the star serpent or whatever, the sun serpent, that seems cool.
I love the Sun Serpent. It's my favorite
Um,
fire spell. Yeah,
or I mean like
I would remove actually a lot of things. Because the problem is in Frozen 1, there is no class identity anymore. Everything does the same thing. Every school does the same thing.
everything is the
They
same
can all
thing.
heal, they can all blade, they can all hit for a lot. It doesn't matter what they are, they all do the same fucking thing.
They're just
So
literally different colors.
yeah, so what I would do is I would make ice specifically shielding and tanking, so drawing aggro, and I would nerf their damage by a lot, but they would of course get more taunt stuff, and they get a lot better resist stats since it hasn't been that lately. I would just in general neuter a bunch of things that make them all class specific. So Storm would be single target. They would have not great AoEs, but they'd have insane single hits. Balance would be blading and support, of course. Fire would be overtime, so a lot of boss cheats can be countered with overtime effects, and you can use detonate for very specific situations. Myth, I would do AoEs because they have Orpheus, which I think is a great example of an AoE, and life obviously is healing. In general, it's just going back to the basics since that's what's
Even
worked so
now,
well.
why are we not, bro? What they're afraid of is they're gonna add needless complexity to their game and be unable to balance it because they're not good at making a game. I think that's what they're worried about, right?
Yeah,
Like I know they don't care, but if they had a worry, I think that's probably it. And that's why they're scared of giving uniqueness to their things or to their classes because that's a lot to like manage. Like imagine if Orpheus, like not Orpheus specifically, but they could make him level 180 myth AoE, right? And it could hit everyone twice. That would be more like, I don't know, class identity. But they don't want to do something like that because, well, now like I don't know, myth would stomp like a bunch of like early game cheat bosses, or like it uniquely would be able to do so much. You know what I mean? That the other classes wouldn't be able to. I'm just listing a thought in my head. That I mean that like they're literally, but like if they just make everything do the same thing, they don't have to worry about that. Everything covers the same ground, like in previous dungeons for previous cheats. Like everything that has been unique, like really unique, has gotten like buffed out. Like you can still, I mean, actually that's not entirely true. You can still use bad juju. Bad juju takes like a fourth of your HP now though, right?
I have no idea. I haven't really looked into it. I've never even used it.
It's broken and I need to grab it on my death because it's like the best like support spell in the game. It's
Yeah,
literally a minus, it's a minus 90, right?
it is. Yeah, it's a -90.
Why does it exist?
It was cool because he did -90, and I thought, well, what the hell? I think it's great
I think it's honestly incredibly like
because
crazy good.
well, think about it. Yeah, it can -90 attacks, but also you can use it to buff or to debuff the enemy that like do self hits. So it goes both ways.
Well, I just need to like honestly, I'll go grab it.
Yeah, also, dude, all the new bosses just keep getting more and more cheats. It's gonna get to a point where like there's gonna be 10 cheats in one round. It's gonna be so absurd. Also, the
Yeah.
game's just too hard now. It's literally just too hard. You have to do research beforehand, which is fine, but the average person doesn't really care. Some modes for fun. And when all the bosses play the same and you have the same experience throughout the entire world, any person that is actually like wants to relax is not gonna play that.
I feel like the enemy, maybe I'm clueless. I feel like the enemies could have like better loadouts as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, right? Like imagine a bunch of minions that just like spam like the storm AoE. You know this like the 5 pip storm AoE, the new one?
No. I haven't
Just
used
as an
it.
example. No, it does a lot. It does a hell of a lot of damage. I mean, that's pretty strong. You don't need to make cheats for a dungeon like that is gonna have a bunch of mobs spam that with like a bunch of like damage. I don't know. I hate looking shit up, bro.
I don't mind it, but the problem is all the bosses end up having the same cheats, so you all end up fighting them the same way.
I turned into the moon school thing. Some more of that too. Like literally, that's just all I want. Like if it's not apparent, that's all I want is astral. It's all I care about, bro. I fucking pick up the game again because like it's gonna be the same shit anyway. They've made it clear. I guess like another thing I'd want is I'd want them to change up the way the game is just played. Like I guess you could say that I don't like Wizard anymore. I just kind of wish that it was something different. I don't know. At higher levels, like I wish that the game was played a bit more differently, at least than like how it's played early levels. I guess that's what I mean. I don't know how they would do that. I don't really. I think I've had an idea in mind at some point, but
It used to
it's
be
like,
that way because bosses used to have pretty good. They would shield. They would have resistances, but you'd also got Shadow Strike, so you would use them. You'd actually use those spells, which were really cool. And now you don't, so just they're meaningless.
so Wizard101, right?
Yeah,
It's a buns game, bro.
yeah, it's definitely cooked.
Yeah,
I
no,
think Merle
maybe
Ambrose
like
would be a little sad if he could really see what was going on since it began.
maybe it would be cool if we maybe saw like they made an attempt to maybe make more duels. Could you imagine like simulated duels? Like you give a bot like player HP and you give them like a player PvP deck and you put that in the quest line or something.
Like, oh yeah, and then you also like have them observe how a person played in a ranked match and have them play like that.
I mean, even that would be really
That
cool.
would be
Yeah,
really awesome.
there's a
And
lot they could do. They have so many things that they could do. You know what I mean? They've been watching PvP.
any closing thoughts?
Please, like King's Isle,
No, fuck them,
mm,
bro. Don't beg.
fuck King's Isle, and give me what I want. What I want is like astral and shadow spells. I want them now, and I want more cards. And I want you to fix your like boring game, okay? And yeah, that's what I want.
Polymorph spells need to be better. And fuck you, King's Isle. Subscribe if you hate them.
True, low key true.